Hi, everyone, and Happy New Year. This is Anka Metcalf with Trade Out Loud. Today is the first trading day of the year. It is January 2nd, 2019, and we're about 10 minutes away from the close of the trading session. It is 3:50 p.m. Eastern Time. In today's recap, we will talk about the weekly futures market outlook for this week. All right, and we're going to begin with the E-mini Dow. The E-mini Dow has had it, like all the indices have had a really rough and bumpy ride through the month of December, hence the big candle to the downside. Today, right now, towards the close, the E-mini Dow was balancing at the 23,200 level. As you can see here, we're pretty much trading above February support level, which was at 23,040. Let's review the weekly charts, brand new week and brand new fresh candles that we have on our charts. E-mini Dow was a little bit perkier than the S&P because we did reverse and we are actually triggering a buy setup off the weekly level here. But the buy setup that is occurring right now, has not continued with velocity because we're trading into resistance level from February all the way into late March resistance. As we will progress higher, and if we try to manage to break above the 23,400 level, we may continue higher. Now, where's that level coming from? Well, that's very easy. We're going to go very quickly to the hourly chart to see what's going on. So we have multiple resistance levels at the 23,400, not only set from the overnight trading session, but also from last week's trading. In fact, from Friday's trading and also from Monday and also from this overnight trading session. So at the way I see it right now, we are definitely trading into a sideways range, steeper, and this is the new normal for this volatile market. Day traders are having, but even swing traders are having some issues with these volatile moves in terms of stop levels because they're steeper than we did have even at the beginning of the year last year. Once we trade over the 23,400 level, we have room to progress higher. Now, how high can this market go if we actually break the 23,400 level? And this is something that is going to be on watch. Well, I'm going to refer to the daily charts and I'm going to refer to the next key zones that I'm seeing in the market right here. So if we trade over the 23,400 level, we may have a push back into the 23,800 and perhaps even into the 24,000 level. We're left here, so we tested this support level at the 22,861 level, and we're progressing higher right now. So in fact, if you're looking at the daily chart, at the hourly charts right now, we are definitely trading into a bullish environment. So we have our low, higher low, and we have a series of higher lows right here, even though very sloppy, but we are trading well above the 200 SMA on the 1 hour chart. And also we're trading very close to this range into the 23,400. Right now, pull back into a congestion zone, 23,175. It will be very interesting to see if we're going to finish up this bar right into 4 o'clock. Now, like I said, we still have about 10 minutes to the stock market close and 4:15 for the futures indices. But when and if we manage to move higher and reverse off of this 23 to 80 zone, we're still trying to work that to work the price to push through these levels over to 80. We may have room to continue higher into the 400. I think key for the overnight trading session is going to be these 1 hour reversals that may occur. So we had a pretty steep correction in the overnight trading session that actually violated 2 or 3 levels of intraday support. And as typical, we pulled in slingshot effect before we released the buying pressure for much higher. So it was a total washout of all the stop levels. Everybody that was long got crushed again, pulled in steeper before releasing and continuing higher. So as we're going into the overnight trading session, I will be focusing on the 1 hour and the 4 hour charts for a continuation higher into the E-mini Dow. And I think that the E-mini Dow chart structure has a better appeal than other E-minis. Let's review the E-mini S&P, and I know there are a lot of you guys that are trading the E-mini S&P. And let's go to the weekly chart so I can show you why I really was not a big fan of the E-mini S&P today, and why I'm seeing a lot more potential into the E-mini Dow. But nonetheless, they are very, very bullish chart patterns in general. So let's go to the weekly here. Okay, so I'm testing a new projector on my computer, so right now it's a little sluggish, so excuse that. All right, so 25-24 is going to be the release of buying pressure to the upside. Right now we're dealing with the resistance that is coming in from February, and once we trigger this rotation over 25-24 or 25-25 level, we can see some progression higher back into the 2600. So that's going to be about 100 points from where we are right now. So the target level of 100 points where we are right now. So that's a really nice, juicy, considerable void into the next resistance area that is going to be super, super awesome if we continue the current trend. Now, going into the daily charts, and again, depending on your style of trading, whether you're more into swing trading or you're into day trading, remember that these higher time frames are going to help us determine where the institutional money is going and is flowing with the right directional buys. We're closing up the day pretty much in a doji. We're very close, like I said, to the end of the trading session. We're beefing up right here into the price, 2505. Very close to triggering above. Like I said, this is the weekly high into the 25-24, 25-24 and 25-25, and like I said, it has a lot of room into the next minor resistance, into the 2580 and into the 2600. And obviously there are some other minor resistance levels along the way, but these are the key levels to watch for in terms of targets and etc. Some of you guys have emailed me over this long weekend mentioning that you were in some swings long, and I do agree that if you're still in, look for further targets into at least into the 2550, 2560, 2580 area, and back into the 2600. All right, so what's in store for the trading session tomorrow and into the upcoming days? As long as we're holding the directional bias, and as long as we're trading with the hourly trend reversal that we have in place right now. The hourly is really, really trying for this trend reversal. And I think the breakout area is going to be the 2520 area. We have a lot of resistance at this point, 2520. If we break over this resistance, there's going to be a lot of pressure. There's going to be a lot of buying pressure that is going to pump up the price to 25, 50, 60, 80, and back into the 2600. So it's going to be a matter of pullback buy. If you're an intraday trader, if you like to focus on minor time frames, the smaller time frames, 1 minute, 2 minute, even on the tick chart, I would definitely go with the progression of the flow to the upside. Pullback buys on any kind of time frame that you are trading. So I think this is going to be the key. Also, the support level that is set today, if we hold the current support level at the 2450, we definitely look higher into tomorrow's trading session. And 2520, if we're going to get the breakout in the overnight trading session, we may see a really nice continuation session for tomorrow in obviously in the New York trading session. All right, let's review NASDAQ, and I see a lot of positive buys in the FANGs today. Facebook had a really nice reversal on the weekly, and there are some other stocks that had really nice reversals. For instance, Netflix is getting ready for a reversal. VIX are actually pulling back right now, and they look like they really want to pull back a little bit more. But definitely there were some really nice NVIDIA as well. Apple is getting ready. Amazon very, very strong today. So there are some, even Google. So there are some names that I have on my watch list that are really, really appealing. Okay, sorry for that. I was looking at my other charts. Okay, so we're gonna definitely from the weekly perspective. Let me just go to the weekly quickly right here. From the weekly perspective, okay, we have not triggered yet a weekly buy, so therefore we're still standing. Here it is. We are not yet triggered into the weekly buy. 6406 or 6400. This is going to be the area. In fact, I'm going to put an alert right here. And you can see that the price is a little bit sluggish, although we did have some really good results in some of these tech stocks. We're still looking a little bit not weak. I couldn't say weak, but we're looking a little bit sluggish into NASDAQ. So was not as forceful as the E-mini Dow. So things are going to line up pretty easily. If we break over 6406, we're going to head higher. If we break below 6180, bam, we're going to go head back lower. All right, let's go to the daily charts. Daily chart running into resistance, has not surpassed resistance yet. If we blast through this resistance, we're going to move higher. Next target levels are going to be into the 6520 level, 6600, and then we pretty much are looking for a next target level into the 6730 zone. So things are looking very good. There are some nice considerable targets to take advantage of to the long side. So definitely the bias is bullish for current price action, not unless something dramatically happens in the overnight trading session. But the way the market is structured right now, we do look higher for the overnight. If we blast over this resistance of 6406, 6410, then we can explode more to the downside. Like I said, and it's super easy right here because all we have to do is take a look at these ranges below 6180. Bam, we're going to go back down, possibly into the 6050 area back again. All right, last but not least, from the indices, Russell. Russell is trading into a sideways range. I'm going to go very quickly to the weekly chart. The weekly chart has just triggered this reversal over 61, pushing a little bit higher. I like the structure of this candle. We do have a lot of room to move higher back into the 1400. I will pay special attention to Russell in the upcoming days. From the daily charts, you can see that right now we're trading into the higher directional bias. We still have room to 1400, so it looks like a pretty smooth ride coming in the near future. Hourly chart again stopped right at resistance. Today was a constructive move into resistance, and 1362 is going to be the line in the sand. Above 1362, we're going to move higher, pull back buys all the way. Smaller time frames, larger time frames, whatever your style of trading is, just look bullish. And I'm going to be looking bullish, obviously. And if we break below the 1325, we're going to head back lower into a steeper retracement. We can possibly go for 20 points to the downside. All right, two more commodities that I will review today, and we're going to take a look at gold. Gold has bottomed out. We have a multiple bottom right into this core cluster, into the 1280. We're pretty much stalling right now at this key zone right here after we hit a high of 1291 today. Now, very interesting, what I want to share with you and also show you is that we're ending the the day with the doji. Now, if we break below the doji, below 1280, I think that we're setting up for a pullback into a minor support level, and I think we're going to get back into the 1265 to 1268 to 1270. This is going to be the pullback zone. Just notice that the momentum is slowing down from the shape of the candlesticks. This is a slowdown in the momentum, and if we break the 1280, bam, we're hitting that 1270 zone. So we have about $10 to for a short bias here. If we hold this range, however, and the more we trade over 1288, I'm going to show you in just 1 second. This is going to be the tricky part here. The price needs to trade immediately over 1286 and 1287 in order to progress higher. And if it gets into this location, we will be looking for a pullback buys all the way into the 1290. There's a target at 1300. There's a target at 1305. There's another target at 1310 to 1312. So we're going to be looking for these next following targets. Let's look at crude for today and what's in store for this week. Now remember that the EIA inventories and the API inventories are going to be delayed. We're going to get the first numbers Thursday night at 4:30, and then the EIA inventories on Friday at 11 o'clock. So this is because of the long weekend. All right, so let's review. Obviously, we're going to be starting with the weekly chart. In fact, you know what? I'm going to start with a monthly chart. Okay, so monthly chart, we had a 1, 2, 3 bar pullback into the support level here. $40 is a lot of support for price at this level, $40. And then we have this congestion right here. All right, so right now, today's price action is showing a little bit of dynamics, and that's because we have rotated based. We have done a weekly rotation that I've mentioned that also, I think, on Twitter. $47, so over $47, we blasted a little bit higher. But don't forget one thing, don't be extremely positive to the upside or to the downside at this level. We are into support, bounces are imminent, or even sells are imminent at this level because we are trading into this core. So shorter term, let's say, prediction is going to be higher based on current rotation, technical rotation that we had from the support level, and based on the weekly buy triggered at $47. But quickly after the trigger, the price has fallen back into this range, back into the weekly range. More clarity we're getting from the daily charts. As you can see, we're getting a lift in the support level at 44 and change, 44.30. And today was the first time when we broke actually over these highs. And these are the November 26 and November 27 highs of $47. And we are moving a little bit higher. Any pullback at this level may have a higher continuation into the $49.30, and that is the next minor resistance level. From the hourly perspective, the pullback has occurred, and I did mention this in the trading room. We will be looking at $46 and $46.50 for pullback buy locations for projection into $47 and $47.50 and $48 for higher. Okay, so this is what we're seeing in oil as an opportunity. Okay, let's take a quick look at the bonds. Bonds hit target of $147. I did mention the fact in the trading room before the new year that we may have a major breakout in the bonds from the weekly, from the daily perspective, not from the weekly perspective. And the trade was over 146. The stop was 144. Target one was 147. And we are trading into target one right now. We're actually at that price location. And the second target is going to be into the 147.21 to 27. And then if we consolidate at that level into the 147.20, 20 to 27, so that resistance zone, if we chew up that resistance zone, we may build on additional pressure to take the price back up into the 149 and 150. And this is going to be a great start for bonds to the year that had a really rough 2018. And we're trading right now at the highs from April last year into the 147. Also, we're trading into resistance, but the fact that we're holding, consolidating, and we're building the buying pressure, it just shows us that we're chewing up all that resistance from last year, and we're ready to break out even higher. And I think the decision point this year is going to come at 148. If we break over 148, and in fact 147.20, like I said before, if we're getting that consolidation between 27 and 20 into bonds, we may have additional pressure to build into that 150 level, which is going to be very constructive. For the smaller time frames, it's actually self-explanatory, right? Pullback buys along the way. Today we did have a little bit of a steeper pullback into the break-even area at the 146 before rotating higher. I advise my traders, if they were long this position, to raise the stops to break even to have a risk-free trade as of right now, collect profits into the 147, and then wait for additional levels to be formed in order to raise the stops. All right, so this is all for now. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I wish you all a great 2019, profitable 2019. Don't forget that we're starting a brand new futures class. If you want more information, if you want to learn how to day trade and swing trade the futures or the equities market, shoot us an email at info@tradeoutloud.com. We also have promotional prices on all for this week on all our services. So if you want to join our trading room, and if you want to find out more information on our trading room, feel free to visit our website. It is tradeoutloud.com. If you want to find out more about our trading room, it's live trading room of tradeoutloud.com/live trading room. Thanks so much, guys. Have a profitable trading week. And once again, happy and prosperous new year.